Okay, welcome to game, whatever it is, of game week 3. Playing today is Arun in seat 1, Samanth in seat 2, Major in seat 3, and Amy in seat 4. As usual, please keep your hands on the screen at all times and do not discuss the questions till the end of the game week. First question to Apu. Asia Kate Dillon, right in the image, plays Taylor Mason, the first non-binary male character on North American television. In which TV series, inspired by the financial investigations undertaken by Preet Bharara, the US attorney for New York from 2009 to 2017?
Doing Justice.
Passes to Samanth.
Billions.
Billions is correct. Arun, your second. The 2022 Super Bowl halftime show was a throwback to the hip-hop era of the late 90s and 2000s, featuring a star cast of artists from Dr. Dre's label. Amidst artists such as Dre, Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, etc., who was the only female artist headlining the act, who you can see in the visual? Often called the Queen of Hip-Hop Soul, she performed her hit Family Affair.
Beyonce.
Passes to Major.
Pass.
Amy.
Pass.
Samanth.
Mary J. Blige.
That is correct. Mary J. Blige. Samanth, you're direct. This 2002 French mockumentary was about the footage of the Apollo 11 moon landing being fake. According to it, Kubrick was asked by the CIA to recreate the moon landing footage on Earth after Neil Armstrong messed up filming. Name the movie, which shares its name with the 1973 Pink Floyd album.
Dark Side of the Moon.
Dark Side of the Moon is correct. Your second. As per tradition, to make this famous local liquor from Odisha or Jharkhand, the flower of the tree has to fall to the ground before it can be used to brew. Which liquor, named for the tree itself, that is most commonly consumed by tribes such as the Beals and the Santals? It also names the most well-known Bhojpuri entertainment TV channel.
Mahua.
Mahua is correct. Chance for anyone else to get on the board now. Major, you're first. Subtitled The Year That Rocked the World. What year titles Mark Kurlansky's non-fiction book that talks about the Prague Spring, the Black Power Salute movement, the Chicago 7 protests, and the Tet Offensive, all happening around the same time?
1968.
1968 is correct. Your second. The image you see is of a puppet used on stage to represent the title character of which play, the winner of the Tony for Best Play in 2011. The play was also adapted into a film by Spielberg.
Equus.
Passes to Amy.
War Horse.
War Horse is correct. Equus is
Should
a
have thought.
Sidney Lumet movie.
Yeah, I should have thought about it.
Amy, you're first. A warm sauce made of cream, ham, cheese, beef extract, and mushrooms. This pasta accompanying sauce was invented in Uruguay in the 1950s. Part of the country's cultural heritage and of Argentina's. Which sauce is this, named after the Italian king of tenors who toured the region in the early 20th century? He was one of the first musicians to document his voice on recording.
Caruso.
Caruso after Enrico Caruso is correct. Well done. Your second, last question of the round. This variant cover of Mighty Avengers #3, drawn by Salvador LaRocca, features which musician talking to Iron Man on the stoop of his childhood home in Detroit? The house also appeared on the cover of his highly acclaimed 8th album, released the same year. The album was also the second in the list of the world's best-selling albums of that year, coming in just behind Midnight Memories.
Eminem.
Eminem is correct. You clearly know your best-selling albums of that year. A giveaway clue.
No, that was simply based on the fact that he's slightly blonde.
That's the end of the first round. Arun, first question of round 2. Cashew apples that have fallen to the ground are traditionally used to make which Goan liquor? Per some sources, it gets its name from Sanskrit word for froth, due to the bubbles formed when this drink is poured out.
Any?
Fenny is correct. Your second. Which endurance race is inspired from a famed 1962 escape with an unknown fate, wherein athletes start with a swim, imitating how the actual events would have taken place? Aptly, the race is titled Escape from Blank, which is also the title of a 1979 Clint Eastwood film about the same event that inspired the race.
Alcatraz.
Yeah, Escape from Alcatraz is correct. Samanth, you're first. Pinkfong is a South Korean entertainment company whose YouTube channel became viral after they released their version of which children's song and associated dance. Originally a campfire chant, Pinkfong's version is now the most watched YouTube video of all time.
Baby Shark.
Baby Shark is correct. Your second. The Bechdel test, named for its creator Alison Bechdel, is what is stated there. By Alison Bechdel's own admission, which 1997 Quentin Tarantino film fails the test, but also has one of the strongest female protagonists she has ever seen in Hollywood. Stars Pam Grier in the titular role. As a flight attendant caught smuggling, who has to choose between snitching on her boss or going to jail.
Jackie Brown.
Jackie Brown is correct. I'm trying to finish it quicker for all of us. Major, you're first. In season 4, episode 11 of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Jake responds to Holt's announcement of a manhunt by announcing that the suspect's name is Dr. Richard Kimball. Holt confirms that there must be some sort of error as none of the escaped suspects are named Kimball. Jake responds, "I didn't kill my wife." This is a reference to which 1960s TV series and subsequent 1993 Harrison Ford film? Seconds. I will need an answer.
Pass.
Apu,
Fugitive.
The Fugitive is correct. Major, your second. The most watched Super Bowl halftime TV broadcast of all time was 2015, headlined by which dark horse, flanked on either sides by sharks who went on to become one of the internet's most used memes. Lenny Kravitz and Missy Elliott joined in as guest artists. Seconds. You will need an answer.
Beyonce.
Passes to Amy.
Pass.
Apu,
Pass.
Samanth.
Is Megan Thee Stallion?
It is not.
Oh,
Good try.
a good
though.
guess.
Good
Dark
try.
horse. I mean, what the hell?
No, so, oh, not like that. This is Katy Perry, who had an album named Dark Horse.
Oh, come on.
I almost said George Harrison, but
Points for effort. Amy, you're first. Which 2013 movie saw its stranded female character talk to no other women as she rescues herself, thus failing the Bechdel test, but presenting a feminist narrative nevertheless? The director took a stand against bringing rescuers for her, one of the only two named characters in the film? Second,
Courage Under Fire.
passes to Major.
Pass.
Apu,
Pass.
Samanth.
This room.
This is a movie you are extremely fond of.
The
This is
Panic Room.
Alfonso Cuarón's Gravity.
Oh,
I knew it as soon as I said it, what it was. Yes.
nice, nice, nice.
As it goes. Amy, your second. This invitational 1,000-mile ultra marathon is a 30-day winter-long run between Anchorage and Nome in Alaska. It happens a month before the more well-known dog sled race on the same trail, named after an erstwhile mining district that became a ghost town at the end of the Yukon Gold Rush. Which endurance race / dog sled race?
Is it called the Iditarod?
Yes, that is correct. That's the end of the second round. First question of round 3 to Apu. This work by Eduardo Cobra is considered the world's largest street mural and depicts a boy from Brazil, a woman from Ethiopia, a woman from Thailand, a man from Northern Europe, and a man from Papua New Guinea, with the desire to represent the 5 continents as black, blue, green, red, and gold, respectively. Tell us what annular sporting icons these colors represent on the mural, or what occasion this mural is celebrating.
What's sporting icons? The Olympic rings.
Yeah, this is the Olympic rings. We would have also accepted the Rio Olympics for which it was made. Your second. Which American YouTube channel with over 133 million subscribers specializes in 3D animation videos of both traditional nursery rhymes and their original songs? They are not only the most subscribed children's channel, but also the one with the second most subscribers across categories.
Channel called Mother Goose.
Passes to Major.
Pass.
Amy.
Us.
Samanth.
Pass.
This is a channel by the name of Coco Melon. Why not? Samanth, you're first. This wedding that took place on October 13th, 2011 saw the bride decked in a kira designed by Indian designer Ritu Kumar and other parts of the ensemble designed by Manav Gangwani. The phoenix crown was designed by the scroll painter Lopin Ugian. Which country's royal wedding is this?
Bhutan.
Bhutan is correct. Now second. This stamp from the Royal Mail sci-fi series is based on which 1979 work by Doris Lessing in the form of reports about the fictional planet that gives the book its title. The book is inspired by Sufism and named for the Persian word meaning broken, used to refer to the Iranian national style of calligraphy. In seconds. I will need an answer.
Pass.
Major.
Pass.
Amy.
Us.
Apu.
Pass.
This is a book titled Recolonize Planet 5 Shikasta.
Oh my God.
What?
Whoa. I thought I'd have heard of it when you said it, but no.
During my round, I struggled a lot to remember the Golden Notebook, which was obviously wrong.
Yes, that's the kind of thing I was expecting.
Major, you're first. Chutima, a geographically indicated wine from Assam, is made from which primary ingredient? Used in ceremonies by the Dimasa people, the herb thembra is a key ingredient of this wine. Changju in Korea and Lao Lao in Laos are examples of wines made from the same ingredient. And seconds. I will need an answer.
I'll say rice.
Rice is correct. Well fainted there that your many years of drinking in Northeast India are
Not in Assam.
your second. Which Australian motorsports official was under the spotlight after Max Verstappen's final lap season-clinching controversial win over Lewis Hamilton at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix last season? Even though Verstappen's title win has since stood, he lost his job as Formula One's race director for misinterpreting rules surrounding the safety car.
God, what's his name?
I will need an answer.
Smith.
Not this time. Amy?
Pass.
Apu?
Pass.
Samanth?
Pass.
This is a gentleman by the name Michael Massey. Amy, you're first. The 2010 Tony winner for Best Player was Red, based on the life of which abstract expressionist painter, specifically after he was commissioned to paint a group of murals for the exclusive Four Seasons restaurant in New York. The image shows him on the left and Alfred Molina playing him on the right.
Rothko.
Mark Rothko is correct. Last question of the round. Beanie Feldstein earned a Golden Globe nomination for her breakout role in Booksmart in 2019. Which real-life personality did she play in the third season of American Crime Story in 2021, from which the image is taken?
Well, if she's not playing Monica Lewinsky, she looks awfully like her. Yes, Monica Lewinsky.
That is correct. Monica Lewinsky. First question of round 4 to Apu. This 2007 movie, the first ever feature-length animated mockumentary, documents the attempt of the 17-year-old rock hopper penguin Cody Maverick to win the Big Z Memorial Contest. Name this film that lost the 2007 Academy Award for Best Animated Feature to Ratatouille. It is also the name of the title track of a 1971 album by the Beach Boys.
Say Pet Sounds. It's not Pet.
Not major.
Pass.
Amy?
Pass.
Samanth?
Pass.
I will. This is a movie called Surf's Up. Sort of the discount variety Happy Feet of that season.
Which is what I was actually thinking of doing.
But which turned up in the other league.
Yes. I can't remember these things anymore.
Apu, your second. Published posthumously in 2004 after the year of his death, the inspiration behind the numerical title of which Roberto Bolaño novel remains unclear to this day. The number itself does not appear in the book and may be a reference to the biblical exodus from Egypt, supposedly blank years after God created the earth.
2999.
Passes to major.
2666.
6 is correct. Samanth, you're first. This incredibly rich French steak dish comprises a beef fillet pan-fried in butter served on a crouton topped with a hot slice of fresh foie gras and finished with a Madeira demi-sauce. After which 19th century composer for whom it was initially created is the steak named, composer of about 39 operas, the last of which was William Tell.
Rossini.
Rossini is correct. Your second. Themed on the Winter Olympics, the 1992 Super Bowl halftime show is widely billed as the worst in its history. Which pop musician, whose Cuban Miami roots seemed to be a misfit for the winter theme, performed alongside figure skaters in the show? She, however, returned in 1999 for a more loved performance.
Gloria Estefan.
Gloria Estefan is correct. Major, you're first. The actress Lena Waithe, right in the image, became the first Black woman to win the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Writing for a Comedy Series in 2017 for writing the Thanksgiving episode of which show that, Alora, shares its name with half of a figure of speech. The episode was loosely based on her personal experience of coming out to her mother. In seconds. I will need an answer.
Pass.
Amy,
Pass.
Apu,
Pass.
Samanth.
Master of None.
Master of None is correct. Major, your second. Woody Allen's second outing as a director was this mockumentary that tells the story of a Virgil Starkwell, who is intent on becoming a notorious bank robber. What is the name of this work? It shares its name with a 1976 hit by the Steve Miller Band, which tells the story of two robbers and a detective named Billy Mack chasing them. I will need an answer.
Catch Me If You Can.
Oops. Passes to Amy.
Pass.
Apu,
No, can't believe this.
you passing?
Yeah, pass.
Samanth?
Pass.
This is Take the Money and Run.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
I've seen the movie, man.
Kind of question. Amy, you're first. On October 14, 2019, India saw the first look of the real-life Princess of Reva and choreographer cum dancer turned actors Mohana Kumari Singh and Suyesh Rawat as bride and groom. She is shown here wearing a lehenga at her royal wedding in Haridwar, designed by which ambidextrous designer?
Pass.
Passes to Apu.
Sabyasachi.
Sabyasachi is correct.
Nice clue. Very nice clue.
Sabyasachi means ambidextrous. Last question of the round to Amy. This stamp from the Royal Mail sci-fi series is based on which 1931-32 work described as social science fiction, set in a futuristic dystopian world state characterized by sleep learning, psychological manipulation, and classical conditioning that only the protagonist resists. The novel gets its name from Miranda's speech in The Tempest.
Brave New World.
Aldous Huxley's Brave New World is correct. At the halfway stage, we have Samanth on 10, Amy on 7, Apu on 5, and Major on 3. Quite a few questions to go. Apu, you're first of round 5. In the Brooklyn Nine-Nine episode, The Puzzle Master, Jake and Amy work on their last case before Amy becomes a sergeant, partnering with Amy's favorite puzzle master, wins Sturmley. When Jake tries to enter Sturmley's crossword night, he discovers he has to anagrammatize the phrase "sad anus loser, I go in" into a period film based on a 1782 book. Jake fails to solve it and sneaks in through the bathroom window. Can you solve it? 9-8. Seconds. I will need an answer.
Pass. Pass.
Passes to Major.
Scroll down.
I will need an answer.
Pass.
Amy.
Pass.
Samanth.
Pass.
Start John Malkovich.
Oh, dangerously.
Dangerously alone.
Dangerously
I was
alone.
trying to remember.
Apu, your second. Identify this character first introduced in this panel of Alan Moore's classic saga of the Swamp Thing. He went on to appear in several series of his own, including Hellblazer, which was the most successful title in DC's Vertigo imprint. Alan Moore has stated that the character only existed because Steve Bissett and John Totleben wanted to do a character that looked like Sting.
It's Constantine.
John Constantine is correct. Samanth, you're first. In his gigantic frescoes, Antekna painted using illusionism, employing depth and aerial perspective. This ceiling painting in the Camera Picta at the Ducal Palace, Mantua creates an illusionary oculus in the ceiling as it seems to open up to a light blue cloud-filled sky. What is such an illusion called? The term translating to deceive the eye in French.
Trompe-l'oeil.
Yes, trompe-l'oeil is correct. Your second. In July 2021, social media rallied around Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho, and which other English footballer after they were subject to racial abuse following their penalty misses in the shootout of the Euro 2020 final against Italy. This 20-year-old from Arsenal missed the deciding kick.
Pass.
I like that you were pretending to try to remember the name. Major?
No, I realized I only remembered Rashford. So
Bukayo Saka.
Saka is correct.
Saka,
Major, your first direct. When Escoffier invented this dessert comprising peaches with raspberry sauce, what
Peach
is it?
Melba.
Thank you. Peach Melba is correct. Your second. This panel from the Brief Lives collection of Sandman features a story arc of Delirium and Dream in search of their brother, Destruction. While the look of Delirium changes through the tale, this look in specific was based at the request of Neil Gaiman on which American singer, songwriter, and pianist. Her debut solo album, Little Earthquakes, has been regarded as one of the greatest albums of all time. Seconds.
Sinead O'Connor.
That's a decent guess. No. Amy?
Pass.
Apu?
Tori Amos.
Tori Amos is correct. Amy, you're first. The most subscribed musicians on YouTube have also smashed the record for most viewed videos within 24 hours of release with their numbers Kill Your Love and How You Like That, a testament to the growth of this nation's music. Which group of four, each member of which have the top 4 followed Instagram accounts in their native country?
BTS.
No. Major? I will answer.
Blackpink.
Blackpink is correct. Well done. Last question of the round to Amy. Be careful while answering. Which alternate history novel by Stephen King, with a date in its title, follows a man who goes back in time to prevent JFK's assassination? Protagonist Jack Epping is played by James Franco in the TV adaptation of the novel. And they need the name of the novel here. So the date needs to be. In seconds.
Alice 1963.
Apu,
Pass.
Major,
What did Amy specifically say?
Alice 1963.
I'll say 11/23/63.
Could you repeat that?
11/23/63.
Samanth,
Pass. Why would I even think?
this is 11/22/63.
22. Damn.
Oh, man.
Sorry about that.
Good try.
It was such a long time ago. One day. That's sad.
Nice try.
Especially with people who aren't used to the American format as well. Apu,
Yeah.
Which is why I was asking what Amy said. Maybe she gave out 22. So
Sadly, no.
Apu, first question of round 6. The wedding of Prince Guillaume, Grand Duke of Luxembourg, to Countess Stephanie de Lannoy took place at the Our Lady of Luxembourg Cathedral in 2012. Which Lebanese fashion designer, the first Arab to be admitted to that, designed the wedding gown with an estimated 14-foot long train embroidered with 50,000 pearls?
Deed.
Hadid is an architect.
Oh,
Amy,
okay.
Pass.
Major,
pass.
Samanth.
Pass.
This is Eli Saab.
Yep. I knew
Saab,
that.
Saab, the way the car manufacturer. Right. Papu, your second. Which 2012 movie, despite having strong female characters like Natasha Romanoff, Pepper Potts, and Agent Maria Hill, lacks many shared scenes between them and hence fails the Bechdel test?
Avengers.
The Avengers is correct. Samanth, your first this round. The 2014 Tony winner for Best Play, All the Way, got its name from the rhyming election campaign slogan, All the Way with blank, for which American president? In the image, you see Bryan Cranston playing the president, delivering his infamous treatment to a hapless victim. The play itself dealt with the president's efforts to enact the Civil Rights Act.
LBJ.
All the Way with LBJ. Your second. Christopher McDougall's 2009 best-selling book, Blanks, A Hidden Tribe, Super Athletes, and the Greatest Race the World Has Never Seen, is a fictionalized account of an ultra-marathoner who discovers the native Mexican tribe Tarahumara, famed for their barefoot long-distance running skills. Which book, titled after an apt Springsteen number, has since gone on to inspire an annual endurance race in the Copper Canyons of Mexico?
Born to Run.
Born to Run is correct. Major. Many Indian channels feature in YouTube's most subscribed list, but most of them belong to the music or entertainment category, led by Sony, Saab, and T-Series. Which children's educational channel is the outlier in this list, named after the main character who has chubby cheeks? The 24th most subscribed global channel, its sub-channels include the much-loved Surprise Eggs. In seconds.
Chota Bheem.
I like how you pinched your cheeks. Amy,
Pass.
Apu,
Pass.
Samanth,
Pass.
this is something called Choo Choo TV,
Oh, damn. Choo Choo TV, yes.
who may have been the ones who put out that Johnny Johnny video, I think, but I'm not sure. Major, your second. The wedding veil designed for Meghan Markle by Claire Waite Keller was a rather elaborate affair. It featured two flowers in the front, winter sweet, which grows on the grounds of Kensington Palace, and the California poppy, the state flower of California. No surprise. Also embroidered on the veil were 56 flowers, including the rose, thistle, lotus, and the golden wattle. These 56 flowers represent the 54 entities that form which group?
The countries in the Commonwealth.
The Commonwealth is correct.
Oh, nice.
Amy, you're first. Weighing an estimated 54 tons, what is the largest piece of community folk art in the world? Conceived by activist Cleve Jones during an annual candlelight march in remembrance of the 1978 assassinations of Harvey Milk and George Moscone, this memorial was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize in 1989. Ten seconds.
Stonewall Memorial.
Apu,
Pass.
Major,
The LGBT quilt. The HIV LGBT quilt.
well, it's Ojo here. Okay, you know what, I'll give it to you. But LGBT and HIV are two different things, right? So that's also technically not the answer. You know what, I'm just going to give it. What do you think we should do? Because
Let me pass it first and then we can look at the answer. I'm going to pass.
Arun, it's a pass. It's a pass.
it's okay, so then it'll be a wrong since we gave an answer.
Yeah, it's a wrong.
Sorry about that, Major.
I will pass.
Okay, so
I should have said HIV first. I mean, because the overall theme was LGBT, which is why I said I knew there's nothing called LGBT quilt, but
no. So here's the thing: it's called the AIDS quilt
AIDS quilt,
because
correct? Yeah.
because it's a dedication to people who died of AIDS.
Yeah.
So I might have prompted on HIV quilt, but since that was your second answer as well, I was a little unsure on what to do. So sorry about that. Blame Ojo since he is the man in the sky who asked me to pass. I would have given it to you. Amy, your second. The term mockumentary came into vogue when director Rob Reiner used it to describe his 1984 film in various interviews. What is the name of the fictional heavy metal band that is featured in the movie? They share their name with a medical procedure that is also known as a lumbar puncture.
This is Spinal Tap.
This is Spinal Tap. First question of round 7 to Apu. At the historical Delmonico's restaurant in New York, this celebrity author promised never to denounce America again at a post-Civil War banquet in 1867. Chef Charles Ranhofer, impressed, dedicated several dishes in his honor, including a veal pie. Who was this dedicatee who performed 76 readings, netting 19,000 pounds on the store between December 1867 and April 1868?
Charles Dickens.
Charles Dickens is correct. Your second. Where is blank blank is a hashtag used on social media to bring awareness around the disappearance of which Chinese tennis player, a former doubles world #1 and 2014 US singles semifinalist. She disappeared in November 2021, 2 weeks after posting on Weibo, accusing Zhang Gaoli, a retired vice premier of China, of harassment.
Say Lin.
Passes to Amy.
Pass.
Samanth.
Pass.
Major.
Feng Shui.
Feng Shui is correct.
Ooh.
My mnemonic for sort of remembering her name is it's like Feng Shui but with a P.
Yes.
I would have
Samanth?
said I would have said Feng Shui, so no point.
Samanth, you're first. This panel gave the name to a Liverpool-based psychedelic band fronted by Julian Cope. Should surely help you get to the answer. The image is from issue 77, released in 1971, featuring which superhero? In this tale, a teardrop-shaped alien ship explodes while he and Spider-Man are battling Namor. Charlie Cox reprised his role as this character from the Netflix series to appear as the lawyer for Peter Parker in Spider-Man No Way Home.
Can you zoom in? I don't know if it even helps. So it's a guy blanked out, right? Basically.
It's the guy blanked out, so it doesn't really help. You can see a red soul and a red butt.
I see.
Seconds. I will need an answer.
I'll just say this is Spider-Man again, from alternate universe Spider.
Amy,
Pass.
Apu,
Pass.
Major.
Pass.
This is Daredevil,
Oh.
right? Who has a brief scene at the beginning of No Way Home where he's the blind lawyer who catches a brick. Samanth, your second direct. Anthony Burgess, the author of Clockwork Orange, wrote which dystopian novel with a year as its title? In its first part, he was both the interviewer and interviewee as he dissected a George Orwell novel. And in the second part is a novella not only inspired from, but also acting as a follow-up to the same Orwell novel.
1985.
1985 is correct. Major. The Bechdel test was later expanded to include the criterion that the female characters who talk about something other than a man must have names. This led to which 2016 film failing the test because the lead character Mia does not have girlfriends who are named, although she dances with them. In an infamous gaffe, this movie was confused with another film which also incidentally fails the test. Ten seconds.
I have the other film.
I need an answer.
I just pass.
Amy?
La La Land.
La La Land is correct.
I was thinking Moonlight the whole time and thinking
Major, your second. Organized by the World Triathlon Corporation, what type of one-day endurance event consists of a 2.4-mile swim, a 112-mile bicycle ride, and a marathon 26.22-mile run in that order? While it is not named for a superhero, the handful who complete these events are nothing lesser. Its annual World Championship has taken place in Hawaii since 1979.
the Iron Man title.
Ironman Triathlon is correct. Amy, you're first. I apologize on behalf of India in advance. Kesar Kasturi, a local Rajasthani liquor, was famously popularized by Roger Moore, who became its fan and drank copious amounts of it while shooting Octopussy. Besides saffron, one of its major ingredients became incredibly difficult to procure after the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. What was this ingredient that has now been replaced by other spices?
I'm not going to like this, am I? Monkey bands.
Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Thanks you. Apu, did you say pass?
Sandalwood.
It's not sandalwood. Samanth?
Pass.
Major?
Musk of the musk deer.
That's a very good answer. This is
Wow.
musk.
Only from Kasturi.
That is, yeah, that's exactly why.
Nice.
Amy, last question of the round. The first ever non-marching band to perform at the Super Bowl halftime show was this evangelical non-profit organization founded with the aim of opposing the 1960s counterculture through song and dance performances. Which group that has performed the most number of acts in the show's history, having featured 5 times between 1971 and 1986? Has the picture loaded for the rest of you?
No.
I can't see it. No,
Okay.
I think I'd probably quite like to have a look at it.
Yeah. Maybe open
yeah,
a new tab.
Let me see what I can do.
See if you can open it in a new tab. There was one option. Oh, now it's not even coming up.
Oh no, I think the whole.
We'll just try undoing once or twice
Okay.
and reload the question once and then.
Yeah, but now the entire page is gone. Oh, it's loading.
Hopefully scores will reset to 0 as well.
Yeah, I quickly hit.
That's what I'm banking on.
Oh, thank God.
So,
Well, yes. Sucks for you. There we go.
Aha.
Now everything is clear.
So that's clear, but really far less helpful than I'd hoped. I'm guessing it's not the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, but that's what I'm going to say.
Apu?
Pass.
Samanth?
Pass.
Major?
pass.
This is something called Up With People. So.
Okay, I'm glad.
That is the reaction that this question deserves. Okay, going into the final round, Samanth on 14, Major on 10, Apu and Amy on 9. So second place very much up for grabs, as could be first. Apu, first question. 2 winners of the Tony Award for Best Play in the 21st Century are named after European capitals. While the 2000 winner Copenhagen dramatized a meeting between Bohr and Heisenberg, the 2017 winner recounts the story of peace accords between Israel and the PLO in which capital? The central characters in the play were the negotiating diplomats, Mona Juul and Terje Rod Larsen.
Oslo.
Oslo is correct.
Oh.
And just like the Tony Awards to center to Europeans in a conflict of the Middle East, your second direct. The stamp from the Royal Mail sci-fi series is based on which 1895 work credited with popularizing a concept that has become a staple in science fiction. It was based on the author's earlier work titled The Chronic Argonauts and features characters named the Very Young Man, Morlocks, and the Eloy.
The Time Machine.
H.G. Wells' Time Machine is correct. Samanth, you're first. The actor Andrew Scott of Sherlock and Fleabag fame is playing which suave, agreeable, and utterly amoral con artist and serial killer, the protagonist of a series of novels by Patricia Highsmith. The image shows Matt Damon playing the same character in a 1999 film.
Ripley?
Tom Ripley is correct. This being the talented Mr. Ripley. Your last direct. Here we see Jake Peralta attempting a rare office achievement in the cold
The
open.
bullpen.
Bullpen is correct. Major, you're first. As per Guinness World Records, The Journey of Humanity is the world's largest canvas painting, measuring 17,000 square feet, roughly 2 football fields. Sasha Jaffrey painted it on the themes of connection and isolation at Palm Atlantis, Dubai between March 2020 and March 21. What exactly allowed Jaffrey to put in this mammoth effort? It would go on to become the second most expensive painting sold by a living artist.
I did not get what they mean by what exactly allowed.
What circumstance, what exactly allowed?
Okay, like that. Okay. Lockdown due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah, pandemic-induced lockdown isolation is what they were looking for. Your last direct. The stamp from the Royal Mail sci-fi series is based on which 1953 work by Arthur C. Clarke about a peaceful alien invasion and decades of apparent utopia at the cost of human culture. It gives its name to a Pink Floyd song from the 1972 album Obscured by Clouds, the last one to be composed entirely by David Gilmour. Ten seconds. I will need an answer.
Black Sun.
Passes to Amy.
Pass.
Apu.
Childhood's End.
Childhood's End is correct.
Super.
Well done.
Well pulled out of your memory. Okay, last two questions of the quiz. In season 4, episode 22 of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Boyle's hair turns white almost overnight due to the stress of Jake and Rosa's upcoming trial. Boyle suffers from a syndrome named after which historical figure whose hair allegedly turned white the night before their execution in the second half of the 18th century?
Marie Antoinette.
Marie Antoinette is correct. And last question of the quiz. In Tokyo 2020, the gold medal event at which debut sport was decided in controversial fashion after Saudi Arabia's Tarek Hamedi was disqualified for an illegal move. Instead, Iran's Sajid Ghanzadeh, made unconscious by Hamedi's move, was revived and given the gold medal.
Karate.
Karate is correct.
Oh, very nice.
And that is the end of the quiz. Finishing today in seat 1, Arun on 12, Samanth on 16,
Well-
Major on 11, and Amy on 11 as well. So
Oh,
Apu
close
finishes
game.
second and Samanth finishes first.
Close game. Nice game, guys.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. Bye.
Yep.
Thanks
And
for
everybody.
reading.